A field goal would make it a two-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal.
319! Jump out!
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. He's at the 30. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now it's McNabb. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Charles Clay, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, a run with Hyde. He's to the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carlos Hyde taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles have moved out in front. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did.
There goes Green. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Green, 71 yards. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
319.
On first down, Rodgers. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll give to Hyde. A gain of 3, second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. High. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Attempt carry for Hyde. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Now it's Rodgers. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run. Hyde. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He's going to get it running right. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Demaryius Thomas from 4 yards out. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for 2. Now Rodgers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st down, it's McNabb. Space to maneuver at the 40. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Out of the gun, McNabb. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's McNabb. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty shedding through the defense. And an